Hi, everybody. I've been getting some questions about the grading reset, and I figure that there's nothing better than seeing it for yourself. So I wanted you to take a peek and see what you would be getting if you choose to join the course, which I hope you do. So I am here in a preview version, so you can see there's a little introduction here. And there are really 6 core modules to the Grading Reset course built around the 3 pillars of the Reset framework, which are philosophy, organization, and implementation. And so purposeful strategies in each one of those areas will help you to combine all of those for the most results and the greatest impact and the greatest change. This first module here, Let Go or Stay Stuck, is focused on philosophy, and you received one of those lessons in the free challenge, The Psychology of More, but you can see that there is definitely some further thinking to be done in that area. Mindset is huge, and changing the way that we think about things can have a dramatic impact in our ability to implement and our ability to be ready for that change that needs to take place. So that's what this module is all about. And you'll also notice as we go through here that the first post in each module is designed to give you an overview of the module. I'll just click into this one. There are module objectives that kind of give you the takeaways that you will have by the time that you finish the module. And then there is a digital notebook, much like the notebook that you made a copy of for each one of the lessons in the free challenge. There is a digital notebook that goes along with each module, so you can continue writing down your insights and ahas and processing the lessons in that way. Let me click back out of here. Okay, so this is just another view, and you can see all of the modules as well as a brief description here. The second module after Let Go or Stay Stuck is focusing on kind of shifting our definitions of feedback and what effective feedback is to students versus what we think effective feedback is oftentimes as teachers. Let me click into that one for you. There's a ton of goodness in this module. I answer the question, like, how do I give more effective teacher feedback? And what does that even mean, effective teacher feedback? And then focusing on skills-based feedback. And this is one of the lessons in the free challenge, which you got a taste of. Here we tackle some strategies for effective feedback. And so there's a lot of possible ways to implement in this lesson. Here, this is one of my favorite lessons to kind of get you thinking about your rubrics. And I talk you through what has been really effective for me and my PLC at the school that I work at, give you some suggestions and things to think about there. And then we end by talking about classroom community and the impact that it can have on our feedback, because those two things really do go hand in hand. All right, clicking back out here, this is our organization module. And so you can see here that kind of the backbone of Grading Reset when it comes to organization is beginning with the end in mind. And we touch on that in the free challenge. And this is where you sit down and really kind of take it unit by unit, assessment by assessment, and make sure that you begin with that end in mind, so that you are purposeful in giving the feedback that aligns to that end result. And you can plan in some purposeful learning cycles during the formative phase to cycle them to that ending destination. A couple of tools that I love for planning, and then we have tools for time management here and strategies for time management. There's a bit of philosophy here, and then I talk about getting beyond the just kind of grab a piece of paper and brain dump type to-do list, how to be really productive, and some different strategies here that have been really successful for me and made it digestible for you all. So you have a ton of different ideas for how you might get yourself organized and in a place where you can jam out on that effective feedback. Here we have focus on technology. We talk about Google Forms a little bit. There's a bonus lesson from my friend Shannon Schennebeck, and she talks about self-grading Google Forms. We talk about Google Classroom and screencasting and a bunch of different Chrome extensions. You guys got my lesson on ProKeys in the free challenge, but there are definitely some other tools that I use as well. So you'll hear about that here. All right. I think I skipped one by accident, but we'll just scroll through this run real quick. Don't hate, facilitate. This is where we get into some different workshop models and some things that I do with student-led conferences, some tips for facilitating, because I know that that can be tricky, and some other helpful strategies. And again, it is my plan, like I practice what I preach here. And so as I'm going through the school year and trying certain things out and working with a new group of students, I will be creating lessons and sharing my takeaways and wins and continuing to update the course as I go. All right, this is the gold mine of strategy implementation. I've sprinkled in strategies that you can use throughout the other modules, but this is jam-packed with some different ways that you can provide that helpful feedback to students. So there's one on color coding, feedback letters, and there is a bonus swipe file feedback letter in the bonus section, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of different ideas here. It even goes to a page 2 for some thoughts on portfolio grading and student annotation. Last but not least, everybody's favorite section, the bonus resources. This is where I have taken things that have been successful for me and made them accessible and usable for you as well. This is where I am sharing all of the good resources that I use myself in my own classroom. So the recursive form, I talk about that in a lesson. You get a recursive form template in the bonus section. There's some backwards planning templates. There's a to-do list sorting slide if you like to plan things electronically. My late work form that absolutely saved my behind this year. I love it, and I will never ever again teach without it. That is here for you to make a copy of. There are Google Forms for student reflection and color-coded reflection swipes, and so much more. So this is the section that will make your implementation so much more streamlined and simple, because you are receiving in this course the tools that I use. And so it was my goal. I don't want to just talk at you about what you need to do. When possible, I am also saying, like, here's this tool that I use, swipe it and change it up and tweak for your own students, or just simply use. So for example, the color coding exemplar activity, I'll give you a little bit of instruction here. You can make a copy for yourself and change out the skills. So there's just a lot of stuff here, and I've done my very best to share my best stuff with you so you can take it and use it right away for your own students. This is one of the favorites of previous course members as well. I have put together comment templates and starters in a Google spreadsheet, and with one click, you have access to that pre-made bank of the comment templates and frames that I use with my own students, and I have separated them out by kind of skill or focus as well, so that it is hopefully easy to navigate. And that's something too that I will continue to update as I go forward, but there are just a lot of different possibilities there. So if you watched the comment bank lesson and you're like, yeah, Lindsay, that sounds good, but it takes so much time, hey, this will be something that you can use to get started fairly quickly with that and build from there. So that's that, folks. You can see that there is so much here, and I say that not to overwhelm you, but to hopefully fill you with a sense of enthusiasm and kind of geeky English teacher joy, right? Like, we love learning, and there's so much here, and I hope that you see the value that I have given in the course. This is my heart and soul. This is everything that I have used and thought through and implemented over the past few years to make this shift in my own life. And let me tell you, it's not just something that I am saying. I live this. This is what allows me to leave work at work and then come home and be the best mom for my kids. It is very, very, very rarely that I use personal time or weekend time to grade anymore, because this is something that has been a natural part of my classroom routine, and the students know it, and it is communicated to them, and they are trained in the beginning of the year, and they are part of the feedback process. And just the ways that I have at my fingertips to provide that feedback to them are varied and doable within the school day. So I totally want that for you. I totally want to help you make that transformation. If you have any questions at all, I would be so thrilled to answer them for you. Go ahead and type them in the comments section of this video, and I will be sure to respond to each and every one of you. Or you can feel free to shoot me a direct message or reply to one of my emails, and I would be happy to respond to you that way.